This hour of the Howie Carr Show is brought to you in part by Perfect Smiles. Don't be fooled by imposters with similar names. Go to Perfect Smiles in Nashua, New Hampshire. That's perfectsmiles.com. People want to know we're talking about the Palmer method of handwriting and cursive handwriting, which is going the way of all flesh, I guess. It's going by the wayside in the public schools. And the Palmer method is just a particular kind of handwriting. And I didn't know this today, but it was started out by a guy named Platt Rogers Spencer, born in 1810. And so he was the sort of the founder of, writing in cursive style, flowery style handwriting. And his greatest successor was a guy named A.N. Palmer. I'm reading from the New Yorker, whose technique, familiar to me and to this writer and to me as well, from all of my grandparents' correspondence, was ubiquitous in schools until the 1950s. And so that it's just when you see the Palmer method, you'll know what it is, mainly because it probably came from a nursing home. Like I said, it's a Whitey Bulger thing, and he's like 87. But Billy doesn't even do it because Billy never went to a parochial school in the 30s or the 40s. He just it's for older people. Anyway. We usually have Ann Coulter at this time during the show, on this hour of the show on Monday, but she's tied up with other matters. She'll be with us on Thursday. And again, if you want to see Ann Coulter, it's pretty much too late to see her at the Kowloon and Saugus on Friday, but you can see her at the Hukilau in Chicopee. She'll be with me on Saturday. Tickets still remain for that event, so go to HowieCarrshow.com and click on events. And you can go there and buy a ticket, and you can also have a nice Chinese spread, and you can also get a copy of her book. It's all included in the price of the ticket. So to fill in for Ann today, we've been thinking about this for a while. We're going to see how it goes. We may continue it, we may not. I know this is going to shock a lot of you people, but I get a lot of hate mail. And it's like Palmer writing. It used to be the only way I would get hate mail is it would come into the Herald. It would be delivered into to Boston, into the South End. It would come in snail mail. Sometimes it would have return addresses on it. Most times not have return addresses on it. But now with the new technology, hate mail comes in from everywhere. It comes into Facebook. Mm-hmm. It comes in on the text line. It comes in via email. It comes in on the message boards underneath the Herald.
Would it make you feel better, Howie, if you had gotten your hate mail in the Palmer method? Like, would it lessen the blow a little bit?
No.
If they were handwritten? Because I think that's creepier. If I was getting hate mail written out, I would be scared.
Now I would feel it was like Whitey.
Yeah.
Have you ever gotten any with newspaper articles, like the letters cut out and pasted on like a ransom note?
No, so sometimes and I haven't gotten this lately, they would cut out the column I wrote and then just like write on it, bull bleep, in a magic marker or something.
Well, I actually have a really good one to start with, since you're talking about Whitey Bulger. This one is particularly morbid. This woman, Gail, on Facebook said, "Geez, kind of sorry to hear that James Bulger's greatest wish didn't come true. And I'll take Mike Barnacle any day over some sleazy reporter like you. Sad to hear that a fellow college in North Carolina awarded you a degree."
A fellow college? What is she a college in North Carolina? Is that it?
I don't know, but isn't that's
pretty sharp. That's pretty mean.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I'm a reporter. Mike Barnacle is a fiction writer.
Well,
a plagiarist, however you want to describe him. He's certainly the furthest thing he is from anything is a reporter.
Well, Gail wasn't the only person who took over our Facebook with mean. Now, keep in mind, I'm going to set you up for some of these because these are throwbacks. So after your war whoop that you did about Elizabeth Warren, David said, "You are as ignorant as the next one. I am a Native American, full blood, and you are disgusting. Every time you call Elizabeth Warren Pocahontas, you anger many of my brothers and sisters out there."
Why would they be angry? She's a white woman portraying herself as an Indian, David. Why would that anger you that I'm calling her out on her lies and her frauds and her misrepresentations?
George also felt angry about this war whoop and said,
"Is he an Indian?"
No.
Is he a fake Indian?
He said, "You are just another right-wing piece of bleep without a clue. Go to HE double hockey sticks."
Do these people have any idea what Elizabeth Warren did? Really? I mean, we haven't even played any of the crap that she was doing today. She was screaming and yelling up in New Hampshire. She was much more unhinged than anything I said or any war whoops that I made in Bangor a couple of months ago.
And we have some people who go on our Facebook and they leave messages constantly. And one of them, his name is Lee, and he goes on our Facebook so much and posts so many mean things about you that we have to kind of monitor them because they're very inappropriate. And we don't want our other viewers of the Facebook to be, thrown off by them.
Thank goodness I stay away from Facebook and always have and always will.
So he writes,
I'll never see what Lee says about me. Sticks and stones may break my bones, Lee, but words will never hurt me, at least as long as you keep them on Facebook.
but
Grace, don't you get the feeling that Howie would be one of those people who doesn't really know how to use Facebook, so he thinks he's sending a private message, but he's actually just posting it publicly on his wall?
Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure. But luckily for you, Howie, I keep all of Lee's messages. And sometimes if I'm mad at you, I'll just read them and kind of giggle to myself. But also, I can read them now. He said, Howie, I used to respect you for one thing, even though you spread hate, constantly lie, and use vile propaganda.
I lie?
On your
I
Facebook
think I use groovy propaganda, not vile propaganda.
on your Facebook page, you seem to respect the freedom of speech and allowed people, he's talking about himself obviously, to post opposing points of view. Lately, that's changed. So this is when I started deleting his messages. He said, lately, that's changed. My posts are often deleted by someone.
Not by me, Lee.
It's your page.
I bring in a Bible, I'll swear on it. I didn't do anything. This is the first I've ever heard of you, Lee.
You wouldn't even know how to delete it. You always ask me to delete your emails for you.
I know. I don't care about Facebook.
Grace is like your Brian Pagliano.
Listen,
He said, "What's
if it were
bleach
up to
pig?
me,
Get me
if it
some of
were up
that."
to me, Mark Zuckerberg would be working in Harvard Square at the McDonald's. He wouldn't be a billionaire. He wouldn't be buying all this property in San Francisco and Hawaii.
He said, it's your page, but why give up your last shred of ethical behavior? Have you no common decency?
My last shred?
Have you no common decency?
Wow.
But then
I'm starting to feel like Kathleen Kennedy Townsend's godfather, i.e. Joe McCarthy.
But then he rethinks this and he says, maybe though, in retrospect, you weren't actually being ethical. Perhaps you were just too lazy or ignorant to get rid of the post that you didn't like.
Grace, why don't I get a safe space here on my own Facebook page to prevent me from all these slings and arrows? By the way, someone wants to know about where's Cindy Lash. She used to write me these things when I used to do a Sunday column of nasty mail to the Herald. Cindy Lash, I thought she wasn't coming down for breakfast anymore, but about 6 months ago, she sent me this stuff in block letters. She lives on Hyde Park Avenue in Hyde Park. And, she sent me something accusing me of being mean to Kitty Dukakis, of all people.
You have a long list of haters. You have more haters than Kylie Jenner. You are like up there. They say that if you have a lot of haters, it means you're doing something right.
I hope so.
But
remember, I did make the list of most loathed Bostonians. I forget who I was behind, but it was really a terrible thing that I wasn't number one on that list.
We also get a lot of hate mail when you use grammar incorrectly. So one of your ads that you were reading involved you saying "an" and "I." So we got a very angry message from someone named Russ who said, Howie, don't keep saying watch Ann and I. It should be watch Ann and me. The object of the verb.
Sometimes I correct it as I go along. Other times I miss it, okay? I'm busy.
You never say give it to I. This is a case where so many people use bad grammar, it becomes contagious, as when incorrect use of hopefully swept the nation. Please do your part to turn this around.
I'll do my best, Ross.
And
I'm on it.
These are really fun. So when I posted my article about the pugs, which I will let everyone know did extremely well, number-wise.
And it's still available.
It's still available on HowieCarrshow.com. We got a lot of comments, and I was expecting comments about how great the article was, but I wasn't expecting so many.
You were?
Yes.
Haven't you worked for me long enough to know that kind of stuff just doesn't happen?
But I wasn't expecting so many comments on, really just fat shaming your pugs. So I decided to collect some of those. Amy Susan writes, I'm worried. The pugs are aging. Please check out some doggy dye jobs and maybe a cataract surgery.
Doggy dye jobs? You mean you want me to dye their fur?
They do have a lot of gray around their noses.
What's wrong with that? I have a lot of gray around my head too, you know?
She also said maybe a tummy tuck for Pearl. We have another.
At least she identified the fat one. She studied it. I appreciate that.
We have another comment from Michael P. who says, "Damn, those are fat pugs."
They're not fat.
When I first saw
You better watch your microaggressions, bro.
When I first saw the picture, I thought they were furry manatees.
They do look a little bit like manatees, I must say. Dryland manatees.
Someone said,
But what about the National Association for Fat Acceptance, NAFA? We need National Association for Pug Fat Acceptance, NAPFA.
Tracy said they are fat, cute but fat. Looks like a fat seal.
Are they a
And,
seal or a manatee? Come on, let's make up your minds.
but my favorite comment was at the very end. I just found this one today. It was actually from the woman who is the breeder of your dogs.
Kim.
And she says, "Actually, Grace, I bred those pugs. And yes, Gunnar was called T for the first 7 months before she went to the Carrs. Most importantly, Howie and his family have given the pugs a wonderful home and life, despite the fact that, yes, they are beyond well-fed."
Kim,
Just like their owner a few years ago.
Kim, I didn't come here to be made sport of, Kim.
And this was,
Like Kim doesn't have any fat pugs up there in Andover? Come on.
did she have fatter ones than you currently have?
Well, a pug gets to be like 5 years old, Grace, they're going to be fat.
Yeah.
It's like being a former offensive lineman for an NFL team. You know, they're not. No one's trim in that
Right.
category.
Your body's
Matt
just
Light's
gonna-
pretty trim.
Oh, he is.
He's the exception that proves the rule.
Okay, so this is another comment. So the Boston Globe recently put out an article about Curt Schilling's show, and they mentioned the Howie Carr Radio Network.
Which we're on right now.
Right. And a commenter, A320, wrote beneath, "Howie Carr has a radio network? What does that mean? That there are 2 laptops in his mother's basement?"
Oh, the 2 laptops are right here on the desk. That's where they are.
Oh, and okay.
What's wrong with my mother's basement, by the way?
So there's also a really funny picture of Howie. So we went to the Pumpkin Fest and
In Keene.
and there was a little baby there, and she had a shirt, "Hillary for Prison." So we wanted to get a picture of Howie with the baby. So Howie was attempting to hold the baby. And
I should see where this is going.
So that we could see the Hillary for Prison logo on the shirt.
let's just say that it didn't look like super natural for you to behold. Like, it looked very uncomfortable for the baby. The baby was slipping. So these are some of the comments beneath the picture. "Where did you learn to hold a baby? Wolves?" And then someone else says, "I remember when Michael Jackson held his kid off a balcony the same way." Cute.
I'm being compared to Michael Jackson.
Someone else says, "Jeepers, Howie, I hope you pick up the pugs better than this poor child."
Did the baby start crying?
No,
No,
the kid
she was actually very peaceful.
I was just trying to, like I said, make sure that people could read when it was posted. I want them to be able to read the lettering, which said Hillary for President on it. Hillary for
baby
Prison
was-
2016.
I was there. The baby was slipping out of your hands. I was very nervous. I grabbed the baby and gave it back. But we got the picture, so I guess it was worth it. Carol sent me an email and said, "Stuck in the car yesterday. I listened to the Howie Carr show. His mind is junk, and the comments coming from dizzy
So what?
Americans were nutty and totally disgusting. He was so insulting to Mrs. Clinton. He and
Thank
his
you.
disgusting show should
Thank you.
totally be removed from the radio."
Well, excuse me.
But Howie, and this is the one that I'll leave you with because I didn't want you to.
What about all the ones in the? I got like over 100 columns for my for.
Yeah, but you got a
100
lot of nice
responses.
ones for
Really,
that.
people
Yeah.
like that for
Yeah.
the column I wrote about Obamacare yesterday in the Herald.
Yeah, a lot of people agree.
Because
with
usually
you.
I don't like 100. Usually I don't get that many.
No, they weren't hater comments. I checked them. But this is just to make you feel better because you're not the only one who gets really hateful comments. I got my own message
Really?
a few months back, and it was so hateful that I saved it. Not for this particular thing, but I just thought, wow, I don't know if I'll ever see anything like this again.
Oh, yes, you will.
He said, "Grace."
Probably this afternoon after you get back to the calls. Yes.
He said, "Grace, I listen to the Howie Carr show daily. I understand from one of the banters during the police blotter that you attended a theater program at college. Find a way to eliminate your vocal fry. I do not want to see a person with talent such as yourself get stymied in the profession because every sentence you utter, you sound like you are leaning over the toilet preparing to retch. This is not a put down. You can correct this.
That's not a put.
It really sounded.
I'd like to see what his put down is. Then, if that's not one.
He said, it sounds like scraping fingernails over a chalkboard. And the thought of doing it on radio. How long will you last in this position? And he also, I won't read the other one because it was also mean, but I just want to tell you the subject of the email. He said, Grace, he sent this to Jared. He said, Grace is going places, ... or is she? How scary is that?
Some people got a lot of time on their hands.
It's the
Grace.
same guy. So I have my own personal hater. So I'm kind of excited.
You have a stalker.
Yeah.
That's good, Grace. Very good. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You're going to have to go out and get a restraining order soon. All right. Thank you, Grace. That's
Thank
for
you.
Hate Mail Monday. If you liked Hate Mail Monday, we can maybe do it on a weekly basis. We just figured we'd try it out this week. 1-844-500-4242. I'm Howie Carr.
There's only one Howie Carr.